Oh.
This is the only picture I have of him. It was taken on the day I was born. She flipped the picture so I had a clear view of her father.
It's him!
And then
Gray with a little bit of gray sprinkles on his head.
In the photo,
Let's go!
holding the seemingly newborn Sarah was my father. He had the same peppered black hair, the same suit and tie.
Oh boy. Oh man. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Whew. Feels good to be back in this spot. Honestly, feels good to be back in this spot. Feels really good. What's good, everybody? It's Dead Episode of Brother here, and today I'm back, y'all. I'm back. I don't know for how long though. This might be a temporary thing, and then I might go back to being gone for another few months and then come back. But that doesn't matter. Today is Tuesday, and we all know what that means. New earbuds. No, I'm kidding. Well, I did get new earbuds. I lost my old red ones, so gonna have to deal with these new blue ones. More fashionable, in my opinion. But today is Tuesday, and today I am back with another Untrue Tuesday. Man, it's been a long time since I did one of these. Anyway, let's go and get started. Today I'm going to be reacting to only one video from a channel called Storytime Animated. Wait, Animated? Is that what it's called? Yeah, Storytime Animated. And this one story that we're checking out is very strange. Dare I say, Alabamic, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if Alabamic is a word, but it's very Alabama because the title is very ridiculous. It's called "I Did Not Know My Girlfriend Was My Sister." Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Okay, alright. So obviously we're starting off with a bang for the return of my Untrue Tuesdays, but whatever. Let's just go ahead and watch this. It's from a story called Storytime Animated. Let's get this over with. I did not know my girlfriend was my sister. Alright, yeah, as always, make sure to go check out the original video and original channel if you want to check them out for yourself. But yeah, let's go and link in the description below. But without any further ado, let's go and get started. In 3, 2, 1, smash a like, play.
The first time I met Sarah was at a college party. I was helping myself to some fruit punch when she approached me. I have no clue why she walked up to me. I was this shy, awkward kid who had barely even spoken to a girl before. But then we started chatting, and next thing I knew, we were dating.
Sexting.
It felt so right being with her. She was so kind and funny, and I loved her. It was towards our last year at college that I really started to think about marrying her. Now, Sarah wasn't exactly the open type of girl. She never told me about her past or about her family. All I knew was that she grew up in Kansas like me, and she went to college because that's what her mom wanted her to do. And that was about it. I didn't even meet her mom until our 2nd year anniversary. Of course, as soon as my own mom heard I managed to get a girlfriend, she immediately called, insisting we have dinner together. We all had dinner together.
Yo, imagine what kind of loser you gotta be to finally get a girlfriend, only to turn out that girlfriend turned out to be your sister. Oh, massive L's. Massive L's. Also, by the way, side note about that intro. I'm sorry if it was a little rough. Again, it has been a while since I've done one of these, and you know, it's kind of weird, but whatever. Let's just continue. Side note.
Myself, Sarah, and my mom. My dad had left the family long ago. All I had of him was this old picture. I was only 6 years old, and he was holding me in his lap.
That does not look like a 6-year-old picture. Maybe 16. Bro looks like a full-grown man with a driver's license right now, sitting on daddy's lap like he's Santa Claus.
He always wore a suit and tie, and his black hair was peppered with gray. He looked so big and protective. He held me so tight. But my mom told me he had cheated on her and had left her to raise me as a single mother. I always hated my dad for that. Sarah and I lived happily together for a couple of years. We had all the same interests: painting, hiking,
Normally,
watching movies late at
I would get
night.
mad for
But no
all
matter
this,
how
all
close we
this
got,
shit that we don't need
I
to
always
know
felt
about.
she was holding
But
something
it
back.
adds context.
Every
to,
now and then, I would slide in a question
to the actual
casually
story,
to
so
try and pry at least a
dubs on
little
that,
bit of
dubs on that.
information from her. Where's your dad? How come you never talk about your family? But I would always get the same sly response. I'll tell you another time, she would tease.
Okay,
I loved her
so
so much, so I learned to live with all the
okay,
secrecy.
so they both
And
have
then
different
came
mothers,
that fateful
but
night.
but they
I bought her a
both
ring. I was
never
broke,
had a father.
so I could only afford a small diamond ring. But still, I was going to propose. There was no doubt in my mind I wanted to marry Sarah. I planned on proposing to her at her house. We normally had date night at hers, since her mother never seemed to mind. We ordered pizza, put on a movie, while the ring rested in the back pocket of my pants. I was so nervous I couldn't even focus on the movie. While cowboys strutted around and gunshots sounded, I was imagining how I would get down on one
watching
knee.
Westworld.
Would she say yes? Would she get mad at how ordinary it was? I wasn't the romantic kind of guy.
Sound
Surely
effects.
she would appreciate the sentiment. As these thoughts raced through my head, Sarah leaned against me, oblivious. Then the movie came to an end. This was it. This was my cue. My hand fumbled in my back pocket,
Alright.
and I was about to pull out the ring when Sarah
Sounds
spoke.
about to happen.
I want to tell you something,
Uh-oh.
she said nervously.
Here we go.
What is it? I asked. I was slightly annoyed
Sweet
by the
home
interruption, but I could tell
Alabama!
this was serious. It's about my father, she said. I felt my
Uh-oh.
stomach jolt. In the 3 years since we'd been together, she had never mentioned her father before. Not a single word. And now she was going to tell me something. Something important. I
Why now,
focused
though?
all my attention onto her. I know you want to know, said Sarah. And it's not fair that I kept this from you for so long. But it's time I told you. What? I said curiously. My father left us years ago. My mom still doesn't really know who he was.
No way.
He just sort
My
of
father
came
left
into
me
her
long
life,
ago.
then left as soon as I was born. I remained silent. For her, this was a lot to share. Sarah leaned over, rummaging through a drawer in her desk. She pulled out a photograph, its edges rough with age.
Oh.
This
Uh-oh.
is the only picture I have of him.
Uh-oh.
It was taken on the day
Show
I was
it.
born.
Show
She
it.
flipped the picture so I had a
Oh!
clear view of her father.
It's him.
And then
Gray with a little bit of
gasped.
gray sprinkles on his
Because
head.
in the photo,
Let's go!
holding a seemingly newborn Sarah was my father. He had the same peppered black hair, the same suit and tie. He looked younger
Bro,
than
you've
in
been
the photo
smashing
I
your
have of him.
sister,
There
dude.
was no mistaking it. This was my father.
But wait. Didn't she already see this guy earlier when the guy was talking about how his dad left his mom to raise him as a single mother? Like in that framed photograph that we saw of him and his dad, she was right there looking at the picture. So how did she not recognize? Oh shit! I put my eye. How did she not recognize the guy on the picture? Whatever. This is one of those fake animated stories. So
Which meant Sarah and I were siblings. Well, half siblings, but still. This
half
changed
siblings,
everything.
but still, you know.
My girlfriend was my sister. Obviously, I had not reacted as Sarah had expected me to.
Bro really said
I
half
probably looked
siblings.
crazy as this realization struck
As if that
me.
made it a little bit better.
But I couldn't help it. This was a crazy discovery. Sarah was my half-sister. What did this mean? Should I tell her? I immediately shrank away from the thought, as I knew
Yeah,
our relationship
half-sister.
would never be
So
the
it's kind of
same
okay.
if she found out. But I had a duty to tell her. This was life-changing. But I loved her so much, and I knew this would damage the love we shared. All thoughts of proposing went out the
Wait.
window.
So he knows that they have the same father now, and he's not gonna tell her. Ew! He's sick. He's a sick freak.
No, I had to think about this. I gotta go home, I told her abruptly. Oh, okay, she replied in surprise. I hated the hurt look on her face, but I had to get out of there. My mind couldn't process it all at once. I left her house quickly, yelling a short goodbye. The way I saw it, There were two choices: tell Sarah and ruin our relationship, or keep my mouth shut and live a happy life with Sarah.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy.
Keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut and live a happy life. Keep your mouth shut and live a happy life. With your half-sister? Bro's not gonna tell her. He's not gonna tell her. What the fuck is wrong with this dude?
The latter was much more appealing. But then I realized I was panicking over nothing. Sarah didn't have to know. Why should she? We never grew up together. We met when we were in our 20s and fell in love. Who cared if we had the same father?
Oh, come on,
I walked
man.
back home with the decision set in my mind. I would keep this little secret to myself. It was for the best. A year passed and nothing came up about the incident. Sarah never mentioned it, and I gladly remained silent. I wasn't ready to propose, but we were doing good. But then things got really bad. I was studying one day when my mom called and asked me to meet her for lunch. As soon as I saw her, I could tell this was big news. She hugged me and we sat down at a table. "What's wrong?" I asked her. She
I
seemed
didn't like
slightly
how the mom
agitated, but then she
kept
spoke.
looking at the camera as
"I've
she
started
was hugging him.
dating
Like,
someone." I was shocked at first, but then I smiled. "That's great, Mom. It's time you met someone." "Yes, but it's someone you know," she said mysteriously.
oh,
I frowned as I thought over who
it's
it
the
could
dad,
possibly
isn't it?
be. Who?
it's the dad.
Your father. I choked on my
Holy
cup
shit.
of water, panic seeping into me all over.
Bro's choking.
He's coming
He's
to the
choking on the
house tonight,"
truth.
she said. "We're all going to have dinner together." "What?" I shouted. This was insane. Things couldn't get any worse. My father, who had been absent for most of my life, was coming to meet me for dinner tonight? And what did that mean for Sarah? Would I have to hide my girlfriend from him? How could I possibly do that? "Why are you with him?" I asked my mom. "Well, we started talking and it feels like the right thing to do," she said. "But he cheated on you and left you on your own," I said. My
Yeah,
mom
but that suit
nodded.
and tie.
"Yes, but I still love him. I can't help it." "You can't do this," I said angrily. My
This
mom
lip
frowned
syncing
and her
sucks.
voice rose as she spoke. "I'll do what I like. You're going to meet your father tonight, and you are going to be civil." She stood up from the
Ooh.
table and walked out
Lay
of
down
the
the
restaurant.
law, Mom.
I had no choice.
See you.
I had to do what she said. I was going to meet my father tonight, whether I liked it or not. Later that evening, my mom and I sat at home as we waited for my dad to arrive. It was 7 o'clock at night, and he was due to arrive at any second. My stomach was full of butterflies. I didn't know how I felt about meeting my dad. My thoughts were solely on Sarah. I didn't know what this meant for us. Eventually, the doorbell rang and we stepped up to greet my father. My mom swung open the door, only
no.
it wasn't my father. It
Oh
was Sarah.
no!
"What are you doing here?"
No.
I burst out. "I left my jacket here," replied Sarah. "I just wanted to pick it up. I hope you don't
Nah,
mind."
either this is a coincidence,
not at all,
or it's fate.
said my mom.
It's fate saying, bro,
This isn't a great
it's time that she knows
I
the
said.
truth, bro.
"Oh, stop it, Brad," scolded my mom. She pulled Sarah in. "It's quite a special night. Brad's father is coming to visit." I felt anxiety rise up inside me. If Sarah saw my father and recognized him as her own, everything would fall apart. I needed to get Sarah out
Why are
of
you
the
saying
house
that?
before
Why are
he
you saying
arrived.
like it's a bad thing? She
Can
needs
you
to
come
know,
back
bro.
another time?
She
I
needs to
asked
learn the
urgently.
truth.
"Nonsense," said my mom. "I would love it if Sarah met your father." "Yeah, I'd love to," said Sarah.
Nice
I could
grammar.
feel time
I'd
slipping
love
through my
too.
fingers. And then
Like, bro, that doesn't
dread
make any
coursed
sense.
through
I
my
love
veins
too.
as
Like,
the
what?
doorbell rang for a second time. "Oh, that must be
Oh,
him,"
shit.
said my mom. She sounded so nervous. I felt the same. No, wait," I said, but too late. My mom opened the door, and sure enough, there he was.
There he is.
That peppery black hair,
Uh-huh.
the suit and tie.
Yo, same
He stepped
suit
into
and
our
tie.
house and looked
Yo.
first to my mom, then me,
This dude
then
can like get
Sarah.
another wardrobe or
"Wait,"
something.
whispered Sarah. I didn't look at her. "Brad," she said, "he is Your father? Yes, he is, replied my mom instead. She looked confused. Why? Sarah gasped. This can't be happening.
Oh, it's been happening.
What is it? My mom asked, still
It's
puzzled.
been happening for the past,
I turned
like,
to
what,
Sarah.
2 or 3
She seemed
years?
to be having a panic attack. Brad, tell me what's happening, said my mom. We have the same dad.
There you go.
I breathed
There you
heavily,
go.
slightly relieved as the truth came out. My father is Sarah's father. My mom raised a hand to her lips in surprise, and my father similarly looked taken aback. Sarah paused for several seconds, but then she darted out
Yo,
the
low-key,
door,
this is awkward.
past her father, past my father, and disappeared
She
out
took
into the
so long to get out that damn door. Like, she took her sweet-ass time. She was, like, analyzing everything. She's probably thinking what she's gonna order at Chipotle. Like, she took so long to get out that damn door. I would just been like...
I rushed after her, ignoring my mom's pleas to stay inside. Finally, I caught up to her and pulled her to the side. Sarah, wait, I said. We're half siblings, she said in a dazed state. I nodded. Yes, but this doesn't have to mean anything. She pulled her arm from my grasp. You knew? She said in disbelief. I nodded reluctantly. But this doesn't change us, right? We still love each other. I don't know, said Sarah in hesitation. Fear shot through me. Oh, come on, Sarah, I said. You don't mean that. Brad, she said, we can't be together. This isn't right. No, I cried. Who cares? I do, she said. Brad, I'm breaking up with you. It has to be done. I protested, begging her to take it back, to think about how much I loved her. But she raised her hand. No, Brad, she said firmly. This is over. Wait,
Nah.
I started, but she cut me off. I've made up my mind, she said. We're through. Without warning, she bolted, sprinting off into the distance. I rushed after her, but she had disappeared down an alleyway, lost from sight. That was it.
What?
Sarah was gone.
Wait.
Fast forward to
What?
now, 5 years later. I've graduated
That was the
college,
weirdest
and I'm
animation
working
ever.
as the manager of a sports equipment store. After Sarah broke up with me, I called and called her for weeks, but she never picked up. And just as quickly as she came into my life, she left it, seemingly without a trace. My mom and dad tried dating
Which is
for a
good.
while, but it didn't work out. And now he's back to doing whatever he was doing, and my mom is at home alone. But I think that's probably for the best. Sarah was my first
You said that, like, so
love,
positively with the
and she
happy
was my
music.
only sister.
My mom was home alone.
When I look back on it now, I always wonder what would have happened if Sarah had never shown me that picture, and if my mom had never gotten back together with my dad. Would Sarah and I have stayed together? Would we have
Oh,
married?
God.
Every day, I wonder what would have happened, but I guess I'll never know. Thanks for watching.
Maybe
If you
that's a good
enjoyed my
thing.
story, leave a like, subscribe to this channel, and check out our other videos. Trust me, you won't be disappointed.
Yo, okay, low-key, that was probably the best story that we checked out so far. Well, so far of Untrue Tuesday's return. Yeah, no, I really liked that one. It was funny. It was very consistent with the story. It didn't like go off rail, which I have to mention every episode. But yeah, and whether it's true or not, despite the name Untrue Tuesday, it was entertaining. I like that, and that's probably the most important thing. But yeah, guys, that is the end of the what, like the 13th Untrue Tuesday? I literally lost count. But yeah, that is the end of this Untrue Tuesday. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a like, subscribe, comment down below what you thought. Make sure to click the bell icon if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video. Make sure to check out Storytime Animated. Subscribe to them. They're pretty lit over there. And make sure to check out the original video if you want to check it out for yourself. But yeah, with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces.